Aggie, I'm so proud of you.
Well, I couldn't have done it without my Kraken Krew.
We have truly some legends in this movie.
When we were able to cast Jane Fonda and Toni Collette and Lana Condor, I mean, this was a dream because each one of these women brings such energy.
On one hand, we have these esteemed actresses who have brought so much to the character and who exert this like expertise and professionalism, but still warmth. And then we have a lot of our teenage characters, like Lana as Ruby, bring so much of herself into the role and so much excitement.
Forget the corn dog! This has been a dream of mine for as long as I can remember.
Oh, it's been a wonderful experience. I've enjoyed it, absolutely.
Yay!
It's so much fun. It's so liberating and exciting.
I can really just like let loose and scream and cry.
Get off me, you feathery demons!
So many of these characters feel like collaborations between us and the actors.
You turn into a giant kraken.
You work with people who've worked on the film for years longer than you have, and you come in as an actor and just hope that you're doing the right thing.
Ruby, don't sell yourself short. This is a make or break moment. I'm selling an entire development.
We're working with people who understand how big it is to be part of a Dreamworks movie, and it's exciting to kind of let them have that legacy to share.
I love spending this time with you, Ruby.
Me too.
I've always wanted to make a mother-daughter story.
Oh, honey, you're not a monster, not even close.
I'll be honest, I think this really started from the mashup of a John Hughes high school angsty movie with a Godzilla backdrop.
One of the big aspects I was excited about was the fact that we are telling this female character, we're telling Ruby's story.
My mom just wants me to stay the same, but this time, I'm not turning back.
Animation can transport you to a world like no other form. And this movie, the emotions and the connection and the storytelling, that's what sweep you away. And then the artistry, the colors, the scale, the scope, the effects, that's what makes it feel like you went somewhere.
Humans don't know everything about the ocean.
Mom, there's a whole world down there that I have never seen.
Kirk brings so much experience to the table, and he's such a good storyteller. With Faryn, I knew she would connect with the tone and with Ruby as a character.
Show me how to use my powers.
I thought you'd never ask.
So together, Kirk was a great mentor to Faryn, and Faryn was a great sounding board for Kirk.
A giant kraken, historically, is a mythic creature that is a slate wiper, a monster that is so big that it can wipe out civilizations with one sweep of its tentacle. Our story, though, is to show the true side of the krakens, and that krakens aren't monsters, but they are actually the protectors of the sea.
One of our big challenges is trying to hone in on what her character design would be, and I think POV and our character designers did such an incredible job of creating this character where big is beautiful. Her monstrousness is what makes her special and can be celebrated.
We still wanted it to look like a kraken, but we wanted it to also have some beauty, have some femininity.
When we were starting to think about the design of this movie, I said, okay, let's make things a little round, you know, to fit Ruby. Let's make like everything with a shape that is inspired by something that would come out of the ocean.
You know, sea life, like different textures and patterns like an octopus, squid, really diving into like the translucent feel of sea creatures.
Welcome to the kingdom of the Krakens.
Just trying to figure out a way of portraying these creatures that have some flavor to it. How will these creatures swim, right? Because mostly they are swimming.
Now for the clothing, on the other hand, we were looking more to kind of like stop motion to really get that like tactile, oversized texture feel.
The animation style is very bendy and curvy with a lot of stretching. Every piece of clothing on our main characters is actually woven. So when Ruby's arm stretches and gets really long, her sweater will stretch. So it's a very sophisticated look that I think works really well.
I just think it's beautiful and creative. I love it. I love the colors of it. I think it's gorgeous.
Yes! I'm normal. Well, almost normal.
It would be interesting for us to not only develop the characters, but also a camera language to show, you know, those differences.
We wanted to come up with two distinct visual styles for how we're going to shoot the Kraken world in the water and the world on land, and basically trying to reflect Ruby's feelings through that camera language. So on land, a little more boxed in, she feels like it's a small world. As we get into the underwater world, everything opens up. It's a little more visceral, and we're having the camera as kind of a character being moved by the waves and the ocean. You know, we're in there with her as her whole world gets bigger.
After 15 years, Princess Ruby has finally returned home.
One of my favorite things about this movie is scale. So we have like normal, regular human scale, but then we have gigantic Kraken scale.
All of the giants have very complicated structures. There's geometry on top of geometry. It was a lot of work, a very big challenge.
Not only those characters are interacting with the water, but they're also the size of rebuildings. They're huge.
Part of my job is just having a great team of people, and you can just throw at them ideas, and each will go on their own individual research and adventure that we eventually mix together until we found something that we thought was original.
Time to go. Limb up, everyone.
Let's all have a very human day.
The Gillmans are sea monsters in a way, so everything had to be in relation with the ocean. So even in designing the town, Oceanside, we made sure that there were like those canals going through the town. So wherever you're looking, you know, you can see the water, you can see the ocean.
The whole place is wet, right? So everything's constantly wet. We're constantly reminded of the ocean, even when we're on dry land.
We even did something a little bit more special for the ground treatment. We made sure that it was always like after the rain. So everything is watery, reflective. You feel that they stay there because it was still connected to the world they used to live in.
It is a beautiful town that is so wonderful, so charming. I want to live there. I want to go to there.
Oceanside is really a bunch of different little islands. There's more boats than there are cars.
And if you look through every chair, every building, on land, underwater, the Kraken Kingdom itself, the curves are part of the design language throughout.
We used a lot of real-life inspiration, specifically fjords in Sweden, with the mountains and the green.
The fun thing about Oceanside was that it's as quirky as they are, and the entire village, the entire town, is so diverse and so out there that you believe, yeah, they could fit in perfectly.
The underwater world, by contrast, it's much more mysterious at first. It is really led by bioluminescence.
The exterior Kraken castle was based off of Kraken itself. It has long limbs. He's trying to make it so it looks like a Kraken.
As a modeler, I really, really love the idea of a castle that almost looks like it could take off and start walking. And then inside the castle, it is, again, an explosion of color, of materials. It feels like a feast for the eyes.
And that's one of the most difficult things, actually, about animated movies, is you're creating an entirely new world. We've got humans and sea monsters living together, and at the end, you're trying to find this design language that brings it all together so that people want to believe and they want to be entertained, and if you do it right, they'll let us get away with it.
They all brought so much texture and tangibility and detail into this world. We needed it to feel grounded, but we also wanted it to feel magical.
Ruby? Hi.
Connor's here.
One of my favorite parts of the filmmaking process is scoring.
We did have a lot of temp score in already, but Stephanie definitely brought a cooler synth and younger vibe to the movie.
A completely fresh score, adding in the great strings and all the great musicality that you get with the symphony at Abbey Road. Singing Against Picture, it's fabulous.
Give me that confetti cannon.
I think audiences can expect a really heartfelt, funny adventure.
When you went in the ocean, it released
the Kraken!
I hope they notice the richness of the world. I hope the movie's an escape for people.
And I hope that in this story, there's something about finding who you are, which is not easy, and also understanding that you can't completely do it alone.
I believe that the amount of energy and the amount of fun that all the artists and all of our crew are having, it seeps into the DNA of the film. You have so many people here that want to just make the best movie in the world. That is all they're here for.
Everyone from the storyboard artists to lighting, effects, surfacing, texturing, everyone is bringing something of their own to this movie, and it has become this beautiful piece of art because of it. And it is so exciting to get to witness that.
Squad solidarity?
Squad solidarity! If you stay on dry land, you'll stay small and on two legs.
That's not even the line.
Oh, no.
Yeah, sorry, my stomach just randomly growled so loud. That was me, dude. That was me.
That's hilarious.
I don't know the first thing about being a giant kraken. I am here in the Dreamworks animation recording studio.
Is this y'all's first time doing VO or like voice acting?
And I am here recording Ruby Gillman, Teenage Kraken. And I play Ruby Gillman. She is wildly earnest and optimistic and steadfast, and she has a very big heart. I'm Ruby Gillman. It's Canadian, eh? I think her arc is just so exciting because when she fully steps into her power, she doesn't lose all the things that we love about her in the beginning. Every time I get to come to work and record, we're just laughing and having the best time. It's totally been a journey, but I leave these sessions just feeling energized.
Well, we need the ocean air to stay nice and, moist.
Ew, moist.
Agatha Gillman is a mother. She is a wife. She is a sister. She is a daughter. She's a very good real estate agent. She's a very put together, slightly controlling, positive person. Make sure you enjoy every minute of quiet you have left because once the baby comes, it is going to blow up your whole life. Well, creature person. Our family is kind of living undercover. We're living as humans. We're assuming the human form, but actually we come from somewhere very different.
Does it bother you guys that we lie to everyone all the time?
Oh, we're not lying. We're just omitting.
Agatha rebelled against everything that her mother wanted, and she turned her back on that world.
Mother! Stay away from my daughter!
And there's still a lot of tension. I haven't done much animation work, so I have found the process incredibly interesting and educational, and it's just fun. I'm going to deal with my mother. Ooh, that one was good. That felt real.
I never thought in my wildest imagination I'd be playing a kraken. Grandmama is beyond thrilled being reunited with her granddaughter. Give me a hug.
So tight.
She believes that Ruby is the rightful heir to her throne. Her job is to protect the 7 seas. Don't worry, I go to therapy now. Away, Rage! She's very excited that this young girl has reappeared in her world. You're made for bigger things. And I love the fact that we're looking at the story of the film through the eyes of 3 generations. Ruby, the teenager, Agatha, her mother, me, the grandmother. I like that aspect of the story.
Your body is going through changes. Think of it as blossoming. No daughter wants to hear that.
I play Ruby's father, and he has a nautical shop. Hey there. Welcome back to Bottled Up. And he's a caring, loving, gregarious dad.
Hey, Tadpole.
He's still somebody who loves food, he loves to laugh, and he loves to create. Who doesn't love that guy?
I'll be closing my shop for the day so I can man the grill. From chill man to grill man.
This has been the most fun I've been having, recording Arthur and just that sense of play. They were empowering me to let my voice just truly shine. I'm going to try to get to that weight before we do press.
Dude, press is...
I think that we found something really special with Arthur. He tries to be very measured and calm. You know, his wife is the heroic woman, and he is a bit more steady. But I think that we found some moments where he loses his steadiness, and you find he's a bit more like his brother at times, which I think is kind of funny.
Forget the corn dog.
Oh, you see that? They took my stick snack.
Uncle Brill, focus.
Brill is a sort of gregarious, very optimistic, joyous sort of character who's like just so enamored by the land and like the world outside of the sea. And he also loves his family so much, so he's just so excited to be around them and to see Ruby for the first time in like 15 years.
Your mom!
My grandmother.
Yeah! No, what? I can't let you do that. Your mom will kill me.
He's just a really sweet, warm, lovable character. My favorite part of Brill is his excitement for everything, and the fact that he's got like no bones. So those 2 things.
The new girl. Oh, it's so much fun to be bad. It's so much fun to be bad. Chelsea Vanderzee is the extremely popular, extremely vivacious, extremely suspicious new girl at school, I remember what my mother always told me. You are gorgeous. And sweet Ruby looks up to Chelsea and is eager to be taken under her wing. Oh, my cute little floppy baby guppy girl. You know, I've never had the opportunity to play an evil mermaid. I'm a mother flippin' mermaid! That's not an experience I live on a day-to-day basis. It was really fun and really challenging being physical and in the sea, and I've never done that before. So I learned a lot about myself.
The trick is to reject the concept of gravity. It's not real.
Connor is sort of like a lanky skater kid, charming and cute. He has like a really disarming look about him that I think is really adorable.
Just ask someone. It doesn't have to be this big proposal. It's crazy, right?
Connor is interested in Ruby, both as a math tutor and a love interest.
And besides, prom is a post-colonial patriarchal construct.
Exactly! I think what makes this story so great is that Connor and Ruby both have something to learn from each other. And seeing those two people grow as people through their relationship, I think is just really gorgeous. That's like what everyone wants their teenage love to be.
Me and you are harmonizing with our songs right now. It's time for you to go big and go to prom!
Margot's like a full-blown theater kid, so my character that I play, any floor beneath her is a stage, any light near her is a spotlight.
Trevin, he's fascinated by the thought of there being a giant sea monster.
Juniper Wood has been known to have Kraken defeating powers.
And we were talking about earlier, he's got the worst posture.
Yes, I'm exactly like my character. She's very obsessed with the idea of death. It thrills her. She's kind of macabre.
You'll be on a boat. You'll be completely safe.
Unless there's a tragic accident.
Bliss, no catastrophizing.
Sorry.
Our characters, I feel like, complement each other because this one is so loud and obnoxious.
In the most loving, lovable, supportive way.
There you are! Why'd you stop answering our text last night? I was worried that monster got to you.
I carved us each a whistle out of juniper wood.
It's a good display of what your average friend group would be. You know what I mean? Everybody, every single one of them is so, individualistic.
Squad solidarity? Squad solidarity!
I've got my eye on you, Gillman girl. And my other eye, too.
Gordon Lighthouse is an old mariner. For years, he has been telling people that he saw a Kraken. Nobody believes him.
I've been searching for Kraken my entire life, and it cost me dearly.
It's a fun-looking character, kind of odd-looking character, so I felt right at home. It's been really fun to work with everyone, and I think it's going to be a really awesome movie.
Oh, I've waited 15 years for this.
I think one of the main things I love about the story is that it's the triumph of an underdog.
It has so much heart, has so much soul, and I think you fall in love with, the different aspects of these characters that you might find within yourself and come out of there celebrating something about yourself maybe you didn't feel like you could celebrate before.
Know who you are and own it, understand the power that you have and take it with you wherever you go.
I think it's really important, we live in a world where we're told what to be all the time, and just having the guts to be you, especially when you're very different to what the norm is a really beautiful story to tell in this context and really important.
I'm a Kraken!
Cue music!
All right, here we go.
It's go time!
It's going to be great. Give me that confetti cannon.
Fire in the hole!
And here I thought I knew how to make an entrance.
Yes! I'm here to save your mother flippin' butt.
My what?
Butt.
My what?
Butt.
Okay, that's a big swing there. Woo. An all or nothing spin of the proverbial. Focus. An all or nothing spin of the proverbial. Woo! You guys gave me vocabulary. I can't. I just can't right now.
Let's all have a very human day. And remember, if anyone asks...
We're from Canada.
That's a funny line.
But you are Canadian, right?
Oh, that totally makes sense.
Always go big.
1 for the money, 2 for the show, 3 to get Kraken. Go, Darts, go!
And is that impressive?
It's so good.
Oh, it's so humiliating.
Been there.
Ooh, even the word makes my tentacles squirm.
That's funny, actually.
Impressive. Oh, Davey! Davey! Oh, Davey! Davey! Oh, Davey! Davey!
Arthur, you should think about hiring someone to help you because business has been booming since you were, featured on that. I stopped looking at the line. Sorry, I screwed it up.
Ask for the
Abort.
Let's do that one again.
There's so much spit all over there.
What is happening?
Oh, what the cuttlefish?
Connor, will you go to prom with me?
You're holding yourself back, Ruby.
Connor, will you go to prom with me?
Stop acting scared of your powers and let them rip.
Okay, here I go.
Go big.
Will you go to prom with me?
You are gorgeous. I can't believe I can finally have a friend to share things with.
Come here. Give me a hug.
Aww.
I love you.
Love you too, Rando.
I'll be closing my shop for the day so I can man the grill.
Who is this guy?
Grill man, the grill man. Oh, sorry. Gillman, the grill man.
Okay.
Ah, Davey! Davey! Oh, goodbye, cruel world.
Okay, that's enough.
I'm sorry.
Don't worry. I go to therapy now.
Impressive.
And that's a wrap.
That was fun.
Oh, I did it! I did it!
Squad.
Squad solidarity.
Awesome.
Ooh, I can't believe I can finally have a friend to share things with. A super C-girl bestie. It feels really, really wonderful to be a part of a movie that is so incredibly empowering to young women.
I'm Ruby Gillman. It's Canadian, eh?
Ultimately, the film is about self-acceptance and having the guts to be who you are.
I'm a Kraken!
When it sort of dawned on us that she was the first female titular character from Dreamworks.
Aren't you one of them, Gillman?
Guilty!
It was really inspiring, honestly. It's important in film to be represented. It's good for girls to see that female stories are being told on the big screen.
You're not a monster, not even close.
I have a daughter, and for her to be able to see herself in a character and see her evolve and become this hero was just really important to us.
I have a lot of nieces, and I did this film because I want them to watch it because the message is so good.
It was so clear from the beginning that it was such a big opportunity to really create someone who is and is not defined by gender and is just someone that everyone could relate to. A universal character who happens to be female.
Ruby? Let me explain.
We've been very fortunate in that a lot of our key roles have been held by women. In the animation industry, I think it's exciting to get to see more and more women emerge in leadership roles. And I feel so blessed and so honored to get to share space with them.
I think it's important for women to be in these roles because we're telling the stories of female characters. We have experiences that we can bring to the film.
There's a certain energy that comes with female-dominant environments.
I've been at Dreamworks for a long time, and when I first came, it was very much male-dominated, and it took a long time to even kind of get to the position I am. And I'm still the only one, so I think it's nice to inspire little girls to kind of also want to be in this industry.
Pretty much all of our main characters, from our villain to our main character to the mother and the grandmother, her best friend Margot, that everybody is really female-centric, so it's really nice to have all these characters that are women throughout the film.
Where are you going? You forgot your whistle!
I think we all thought about how generational love and mistakes and vulnerabilities kind of repeat themselves. If you look at Agatha and Grandmama, their relationship is very similar to Ruby and Agatha.
I'm sorry, I sound like who?
Grandmama. She's been training me.
Just parents who have the best in mind for their kids and maybe make some mistakes along the way trying to guide them.
All parents can relate to a certain degree of understanding that your child is no longer a baby and having to sort of let them find their own voice.
Your relationship with your mom is something complicated. And I think we all put a little bit of our relationships with our parents into Ruby and Agatha.
I know this is a lot to process, Ruby, but you're not alone.
I would say probably my favorite characters to work on were the prom generics.
During that time, we only had women on the team, which was a really unique opportunity. So it's a lot of fun and a lot of support all around from the team.
Ruby Jew!
Hey, Margot. I have to say one of my favorites was actually working on Ruby Gillman's bedroom. I had so much fun with this location, and it tells such a story about her and her personality and her passions, and you can feel that it's her safe space. And so I went into my own daughter's bedroom, and I was thinking, well, what does she have? Everything is sort of half-started, mid-project, and so it feels very lived in, and I love that location.
I also have a 16-year-old daughter, and I was able to really pull from that relationship and find the tone of our movie. My daughter is actually really looking forward to seeing the movie, but she wants to wait till the end. She's seen like the opening, that's it.
My daughter's been seeing the movie all along the way. Because we were making it in the pandemic, I was working from home a lot. And so she has seen almost every screening, I think, and definitely has given me some feedback.
Strong presentation. I like the energy.
It's been really fun to be able to share that with her, and for her now to be able to see the finished product is just gonna be a really special moment for me.
I'm here. I'll wait with you. I'm not going anywhere.
I'm really glad you're here, Mom.
You know, the best thing about this movie is actually the crew. It's just been amazing working with everyone here.
It's so much fun to collaborate with the art department, with the layout department, and really come together and create these cohesive worlds as a team.
For me, trying to get a support system around you and people that are willing to just kind of build you up as a person, because Ruby and her friend network, they're all incredibly supportive of her and her journey. So I think hone in on those people who really support you and push you.
I hope everyone finishes the film with a sense of, wow, women are awesome. We can do anything, and there's space for all of us.
From now on, no more lying.
And no more hiding. Junior prom is the sacred right of every human teenager. Prom is such a huge, important thing for young people, and because it is their first time, like, stepping into adulthood. I need to be there so that I can blend in.
It's a big kind of like coming of age thing, but you crazy Americans and your prom.
Didn't you say that prom was a
Post-colonial patriarchal construct? It is.
I never went to a prom in my life, just so you know.
Prom, like, it was cool. I actually went with my lady. We're together, you know? That's awesome. Yeah.
I graduated early because I started working. So when all the girls were going to prom, I was not there. I was so upset because, like, seeing all your friends is like dressed up and great. But at the same time, I was shooting a movie, so I was like, well. I felt like I went to prom in this movie. Felt like I went to prom in a couple other movies I did. Did go to prom in a couple other movies that I did. So I'm kind of, like, I've had a lot of prom. I'm good. I'm good.
Everyone, don't forget to RSVP for prom, the most important day of your lives.
As a Canadian, we have prom, don't get me wrong. I went with this guy named Cam, who I'd met twice, and who was a very tall snowboarder. And he was kind of, if Cam ever watches this, thank you for being my prom date. You were a real gentleman. But I was kind of like, I don't have anyone to go to prom with. Cam, your name's Cam, right? Want to go to prom with me? And he said yes.
Connor, would you do me the honor of going to human prom with me?
Oh, Ruby, yes.
It's a big swing there, but we are here for it. Step one, you're going to need a promposal. Blue sky with me, people.
Promposals, sure. Oh man, I did a lot of those.
A good promposal is art.
I had a promposal where he did make a little puzzle that I had to put together on my desk. I did say yes. Shout out to Noah.
I went to a theater. It was after hours, and I asked for just all the popcorn that they had. And they gave me a 20-gallon bag. So I put a little slip of paper in there. She said yeah.
Did you see, like, all those promposals around school this morning?
Yes. They kind of weird me out.
The promposal thing? Just ask a person to prom.
I didn't even realize, like, that's a thing.
It's like a wedding here.
It doesn't have to be this big proposal.
I just asked, hey, do you want to go to prom? And she was like, yeah, and we went to prom.
Just want to go to prom? Okay. Done. You don't have to spend like hundreds of dollars on fireworks. You know what? It's great. I think I'm upset. I think I'm screaming because I'm jealous. I think I'm lashing out. And I think I just wanted like a big, spectacular promposal, and I never got one. So I'm sorry for yelling.
With stakes this high, the only option is to go big.
If I had to give a promposal, it would definitely be like food inspired. Food is my everything, is my love language. I'm not a huge grand gesture person, so I'd probably like make them their favorite dish and then be like, look, I made you chicken parm. Wanna go to prom?
If I could give a promposal, I think what I'd do is I would teach a whole bunch of animals to speak. It'd be all kinds of animals, they'd all be very friendly. So even if there was a lion or something, it would be a very chill situation. They'd all be very docile. And I'd surround my potential prom date with all of these animals who would then, in unison, ask them to prom. In English. Yeah, Cam really dropped the ball on his promposal. There was not an animal to be seen.
That's crazy, right?
Oh, yeah, I hear that.
So I'm not restricted financially. Okay, where's that place where all those like pigs are swimming out on the beach in the water and stuff? Bahamas. Okay, I would go down there. I would write it in the sand. Financially, I'm not restricted, right? Then I'd hire one of those helicopter teams or something to film an aerial view of prom with a question mark written on the beach with the pigs running around. And then it'd just be me down there at the bottom like this. And before you know it, I'm at prom. Whoa!
Below the thunders of the upper deep, far, far beneath in the abysmal sea, her ancient, dreamless, uninvaded sleep, the Kraken sleepeth.
We know less about what lies beneath the surface of our oceans than we do about the most distant galaxies. So, for sailors setting out on long voyages hundreds of years ago, it's easy to see how their imaginations would run wild, picturing all kinds of incredible monsters awaiting them. Ruby's family, the Kraken, was one such monster. But where did the legend come from, and do they really exist? Over 800 years ago, King Sverre of Norway described a giant sea creature that haunted the seas around Greenland, Iceland, and his homeland, causing destruction to ships with its enormous arms. If the Kraken's tentacles didn't sink the ships, they would swim in circles around the vessel, creating a vortex that would suck the ship into the depths below.
Inspired by the Kraken, the ancient Icelandic saga Uvra Odr wrote of two giant sea monsters. The Hafgufa, who bore all the monsters in the sea, and the Lingbacker, a heather-backed whale so large that sailors would mistake it for land, clamber on board, and be drowned as it sank into the sea. Reports of the Kraken continued. 300 years ago, Italian explorer Francesco Negri wrote of his travels to Scandinavia and the sighting of an enormous fish with many horns or arms off the coast of Norway. In 1830, Alfred Lord Tennyson wrote a poem about a giant monster that lay sleeping at the bottom of the ocean, preparing to rise and cause destruction. He called this creature the Kraken.
But despite their fearsome reputation, the Kraken brought untold riches to fishermen who were brave enough to enter the seas with it. Legend has it that huge schools of fish would accompany the Kraken and come cascading down its back as it emerged from the water, allowing the fishermen to catch them as they fell. It's true that descriptions of the Kraken vary from legend to legend, but almost all portray it as a many-tentacled, cephalopod-like creature, similar to the octopus or squid. So, were Ruby's ancestors just giant squid or octopus? The largest known cephalopod is a colossal squid that measures a massive 49 feet from head to squirming tentacle. So, if a terrified sailor, far from home, glimpsed an unknown creature with many arms, it wouldn't take much to let their imagination run away from them as they spun a frightening tale based on its strange shape and enormous size. But, as with most legends, it seems the Kraken may be part fact and a large part fiction, and where these mythical monsters originated from, and if they still roam the seas, we probably will never know. Well, we do know, because you've seen the film. But next time you're at the beach or the ocean, keep your eyes peeled, because the disturbance beneath the water or shape in the distance might just be a Kraken.
You've heard of a ship in a bottle, but have you ever seen a Kraken in a jar? Well, in this simple and fun how-to, we're going to show you how to make your very own Krakenarium. First, we need our materials.
Oh, hey!
You're going to need water, a jar or container about 6 inches tall by 3 inches wide, small rocks, food coloring, thread, modeling clay, some fabric and felt in various colors, craft sticks, a hot glue gun or waterproof glue, scissors, effervescent tablets, optional, and googly eyes. Okay, let's make some plants. For the first plant, you're going to need some felt cut into a strip about 8 inches long and 1 inch wide, with one end slightly wider than the other, a small rock, scissors, and the glue gun. All along the angled side of the felt, cut out little triangles, but be careful not to cut all the way through. Looks good. For this next part, you're going to need the glue gun, so ask an adult for help.
And I can wield this baby, no problem.
He knows this should only be handled by a responsible adult.
Ooh,
pointy.
Next, place a small amount of glue on the rock. And starting at the wide end of the felt, wrap it tightly around the rock. And seal the end with another blob of glue. And you have a little sea shrub.
Impressive.
For the next plant, we're going to need a strip of colored material about 12 inches long by 1 inch wide, a craft stick, scissors, and the glue gun again. Make little cuts all along the one side of the material. Again, being careful not to cut all the way through.
I know the rules.
Now, place a little blob of glue on one end of the craft stick and attach the material with the slits facing up and tightly wind the material around the stick from top to bottom, leaving a little stalk at the bottom, and glue the end in place. Now, you have a little sea tree. You can use a small ball of modeling clay as a stand.
Being in the ocean is more wonderful than anything I could imagine.
As Krakens live in the ocean, let's make some fish to keep her company. For the fish, you're going to need a pen or pencil, some colored felt, scissors, thread, and your trusty glue gun. Start by drawing some little fish shapes on the felt. And then carefully cut them out. Maybe have an adult help you with this.
I thought you'd never ask.
Then, cut a long piece of thread, about 10 inches long, and place a little blob of glue on each fish. Now, carefully stick each fish on one end of the thread, leaving a gap of about ½ an inch between each of them.
Hold her steady, Davy!
You can put the fish aside to let the glue set. We'll be coming back to them later. Okay, let's create the star of the show,
Wait, is that?
the Kraken.
Yay!
Kraken ahoy!
To make your own little Ruby Gillman teenage Kraken, you'll need modeling clay, a small rock, googly eyes, thread, and scissors to cut the thread.
Ooh, let's get cracking.
Start by cutting a 12-inch piece of thread and securely tying it around the rock. Now for the Kraken. Start with a ball of modeling clay, about ½ an inch in diameter, and knead it a little to make it pliable. And then, wrap it around the rock. Where the thread comes out will be the top of the head. For the tentacles, you'll need 6 slightly smaller balls of clay. Knead and roll them out to make 2-inch long round strips. You'll also need 2 that are slightly longer than the others. Gently attach all the tentacles to the head. You can curl up the 4 shorter tentacles to add a little character to your Kraken. Finally, stick on the googly eyes.
Oh, it's kind of amazing.
There you have it, the mighty Kraken.
Kraken!
So the fish and Kraken can swim in the water, we need to glue them to the lid. But first, we need to make sure they have enough room. Holding the thread attached to the Kraken and the fish, measure from the top of the jar so they sit around 2 inches from the bottom of the jar.
Welcome to your new home.
Mark that spot on the thread. That's where you're going to glue it to the lid. Glue 2 spots on the underside of the lid and lay the string on it. Add another dollop for safety. And then leave them until the glue has dried. Once the glue has dried, you can cut off the excess thread. Okay, while the glue is drying, we can prepare the water for their habitat. Fill a different jar or jug with water and add a drop of food coloring to create the blue of the ocean. Experiment with how much color to add. You don't want it too dark, or you won't see anything in the jar. Now, we need to create the ocean floor by pouring in some stones to the bottom of our empty jar, just enough to cover around 1 inch, and placing our plants.
Woohoo!
Then, very carefully pour in the colored water. Finally, we can gently place our fish and Kraken into the jar and firmly close the lid. There you have it, your very own Krakenarium. And if you want to make your Krakenarium extra special, here's a fun trick. Gently open the lid and drop in a piece of effervescent tablet and watch as it creates a bubbly experience that will really impress your friends and family.
Wow, I'm a Kraken.
Welcome to Oceanside Prom. I'm the prom king, of course. I'm Glenn Harmon, and I'm the head of story for this movie, Ruby Gillman, Teenage Kraken. I'm here to teach you how to draw these characters, so let's get started. Now, if you look at Ruby, already you can tell she's super bendy because she doesn't have any bones.
Every single day, I push my hair in front of my gills and I stand like I have a spine.
When I start to draw Ruby, I start with her head, because look at that. It's kind of like a ball. And she's got these cute cheeks that come down on either side like this, right? Kind of full cheeks. And then I think about her hair, it parts right in the middle, and they're kind of like tentacles, right? But they part and come down and then kind of flare out. She's got these cool ears on either side. They're kind of like fins. You can think of them like bees or the number 3. She's got these large, oval, tall eyes.
Look into those eyes.
Cute little smirk off to the side because she's just a little insecure, questioning how people are seeing her.
Maybe I abandon this whole ask your dream guy to prom thing.
And we'll give her some expressive eyebrows, make it kind of thick so we know where to look. If them turn up in the middle like that, it makes her kind of feel a little more sympathetic. And then for her pupils, we're gonna make really big ovals. I'm gonna give her a couple of eyelashes on either side, just for the cute factor. We're gonna add in some tentacles in the back. Just kind of helps us to see that there's more going on there. Very short torso. She almost has no torso. I'm gonna put one leg in front of the other, like this, and then continue this line down for her leg, right? And then one fun style thing about the Gillman's universe, they have these cool big feet. Look at these big feet. Look at how big those shoes are. It's awesome. And it's a fun thing where they kind of flare out towards the bottom. And then for the other foot that's peeking out and around, kind of off on the side because that nice awkward pose.
I just want to be Ruby Gillman, normal teenager.
But now we see those legs bending around. I'm gonna add to it a little bit by adding some of these stripes that we see in her legging. And then this arm is gonna kind of come down like this. And again, it's gonna flare out just a little bit. And we're gonna have one hand reaching around. And you can see that she's only got 3 fingers, a clue that she's not human. And the other hand here like this. 1, 2, and 3. And now some of the tentacles behind her. And there we have Ruby Gillman, Teenage Kraken. Let's draw Ruby Gillman in her Teenage Kraken form.
Whoa. Yeah, it's kind of amazing.
She's really like a superhero in this form. We start with a bit of a circle for her head, but when we draw her as the Teenage Kraken that she is, her hair, not only is it super long, but it's flowy, right? Because she's underwater. Her hair still comes to that point, and that's one of those ways that we can absolutely identify who she is. But she has more tentacles and flowy tentacles. She's so big that her body is just nice and large.
The women in our family have been gifted the mighty power to turn into giant kraken.
Cool frills. And then she's got big, long tentacle legs. She's got these 4 kind of toes. They kind of look like toes, but they're webbed. Then she has a third, and it's not a tail, it's another leg.
There's 3 of them?
And then Ruby has these cool fins on the sides of her leg, like this. Now let's work on her arms. She's got these cool spikes. They're almost like shoulder pads, but they're aggressive looking. And then we'll have some here, like this. Got big, powerful hands. And she's got this cool, like a big kind of donut-looking suction cup on the middle of her hand and then around on her fingers. So we want to see that, right? Because that's kind of cool. It makes her unique and different. Then this hand, I'm just gonna make it balled up into a fist. And now we kind of get a sense that she is powerful, right? She could punch a bus. And then we have, right here on the side, we have just a little bit more of those fins. Okay, there's these cool little, they're almost like these feelers kind of, where they come off and they have like a little teardrop on the end. They're very thin. I'm gonna zoom in here so that we can draw her face. Because her features between her Kraken form and her human form are a little different. Her eyes get a little bit smaller by comparison. I'm gonna make her determined. Start with the eyebrows. But she is ready for business. Look at that. She's ready to take somebody down.
Wow, that was wild.
Then zoom back out. And now you can see Ruby in her Kraken form.
Are we still talking about Krakens?
Let's draw Grandmama. Not Grandma, but Grandmama. You know what I'm talking about.
Call me Grandmama.
When we think about Grandmama, she's always in her Kraken form. She's very, very big and powerful. So her face is a little bit longer, kind of like an egg. She has these really fun, upturned tentacles. She's got her little crown that goes around her.
You seem surprised by the level of general majesty and royal splendor.
Now, Grandmama has big, cool shoulder blades that come off like this. Grandmama has a lot of tentacles. It's almost like the older you are, the more tentacles you have, because Grandmama has 6. Ruby only has 3. So you want to kind of show them all off. So here we have 4 in the front, and then we'll show 1 back here and another one back here. He's got the same kind of toes that Ruby does. Make sure you draw the right toes on the right foot.
Now, talk to your grandmama. Tell me everything.
She's got these little spikes that come up on her tentacle legs. And Grandmama has this really cool pattern on her chest, and it powers up when she gets nice and angry. And we'll do 1 arm up and 1 arm down. In the Gillman's universe, their limbs always flare out towards the bottom. And she has these fins as well. Hers are a little bit different than Ruby's.
So, Grandma. Grandmama? It goes up on the second ma.
She has these really cool little suckers on her hands. We want to show those off. For the inside of the leg, we'll probably put some in here as well. Make it a little different than the other legs. And then let's zoom in so we can see her regal expression. Again, with the oval eyes, her looking up and away. And then she has kind of an upturned jaw like that. And that's how you draw Grandmama.
Until we meet again.
Want to learn how to draw Chelsea Vanderzee in the human form? Let's do that right now.
Chelsea, you are my super secret bestie.
When I start drawing Chelsea again, I'm always going to start with drawing a circle. But I'm going to give just a little bit more of a cheek as we add a little bit more body. And then I'm going to already start thinking about the hair.
How's my hair? Feels like it's frizzing up.
I'm going for her head kind of kicked back and then an arm up here like this. 1 arm up and 1 arm down like this.
My mother always told me, you are gorgeous.
Put in some lines here for this. So Chelsea is gonna have 1 leg up like this, and then 1 leg down. So just to kind of mirror those hands. We're gonna have this leg kicked up like this. She's kind of got these bell bottoms. It's kind of fun, cool style. Put in a little pocket right here, whatever, a little waistline. And those big, nice flared bell bottoms. And she's got this big shoes.
Always go big.
Some shoelaces, got white sneakers going on right here. This leg behind, it's gonna flare out both because of the style, but also because of those great bell bottoms. And then we're gonna give a lot of hair like that. Let's go in here a little tighter. Just got some earrings. Gonna have a big grin.
Thank you. Thank you.
Her eyes, we're gonna make them kind of like, almost like they're half closed. Big pupils like this. That's Chelsea Vanderzee, the new girl.
Cushies.
Let's draw Chelsea, the mermaid.
Got us a little mermaid, Davy.
Please, I'm not evil. I'm just pretty.
I'd always start with a circle. But her face, she's got a little bit more cheek than her hair. Big characteristic of Chelsea is all that hair.
You know what you need?
Great hair and a mermaid tail.
No, but it would help.
She's got this nice patch of hair right up in front, kind of like an S shape that comes off and around. She's got her little kind of a tank top thing, and we just draw these lines to kind of make it feel like it's flowing a little bit. And then we're gonna draw a big tail like this. You don't want those lines to be perfectly parallel Otherwise, it'll look more like a snake. We want to make her look like she's a mermaid.
I still can't believe you're
a 10 with a fin, a fish come true, a mermaid.
And she's got really cool fins come off like this. This on either side. I just put in a couple of light lines in here, just kind of show that there's some texture to that cool tail. Now, Chelsea cares about one thing in this world, and that is the trident.
Picture this. Chelsea Vanderzee and Ruby Gillman save the seas by finding the trident of Oceanus.
It's got 3 prongs, and it kind of like loops out like this. It comes down, and I'm gonna have it go behind her tail. Let's have her reach down and grab it. Put her thumb here, and then her fingers. She has 4 fingers. And then she has more of a bone structure than Ruby does. So she'll have an elbow, right? And then this is the fun part too. We want to see those scales in her body. So we're gonna not draw every scale, we're just gonna kind of indicate it. But we want to just see some scales. So it's like just a bunch of U's, and they kind of fade out. But maybe you have, again, a little bit here, so just to kind of show that it's still happening there. And there's a transition right there, where it goes from that human-looking skin to those scales.
People love mermaids.
Of course they do. People are stupid.
Now let's get back to that hair, because it's behind her, so we didn't want to cover up any of that mermaid tail with her hair. So we're just gonna like do these big flowing lines like this. And then let's go in a little closer to see Chelsea's face. Chelsea's got big eyes. I'm gonna start with these eyebrows, kind of help me to know where to draw. She's got really big eyes with nice long eyelashes, and her eyes aren't so circular or oval like the other characters. Everybody in Gillman's have very big pupils. Give her a little nose, and then a knowing smirk. She knows something that we don't.
And now everything is right in the world.
That is Chelsea Vanderzee. So thanks for coming to prom. I hope you really enjoyed yourself. And that's how you draw these characters from Ruby Gillman, Teenage Kraken.
Hi, I'm Faryn Pearl, and I'm the co-director of Ruby Gillman, Teenage Kraken. I am so excited to talk to you about these deleted scenes. Woo! We always knew the general outline of Ruby's story. We knew where we wanted her to begin, and we knew that we wanted her story to end with an epic battle on prom night. But the road to get there, like with any animated movie, was full of waves and turns and curves. What you're about to see are scenes that we had to cut for various different reasons. But in the end, you could see the DNA morph into the final version of the movie that we have today. So without further ado, let's get cracking. We always knew we wanted to start Ruby's journey off with her ordinary world, as with any hero's journey. We wanted to spend a while getting to know her family, her teenage life, her high school life, everything that she would feel like she had to pull away from later in the movie when she starts to make her own decisions. However, we wanted to always make sure we gave a taste of the bigger, more epic scale to come. So we went through a couple different versions of the prologue. We had a version where we showed Agatha's battle with the mermaids and her decision to leave, and we had a version where we showed the history of Krakens and mermaids in Oceanside. And in this version that you're about to see, boarded by Ryan Savas and Simon Wells, we really wanted to show kind of just a flash forward to where the movie was going. We wanted to contrast where Ruby starts in this more ordinary teenage world with the big epic battle that was to come. And while we didn't go with this version, we ended up leaning into that contrast in the final version of the movie, where we set up this big, epic, mythical version of the Kraken, and then hard cut to teenage goofy Ruby. In the end, we couldn't say no to a Jane Fonda monologue.
Being a teenager is complicated. Everyone has expectations about who and what you should be, and meanwhile, you are still trying to figure it out yourself. So you try to fit in, even if you don't. But whether you like it or not, there might come a time when you are forced out of your comfort zone. Maybe it's auditioning for a school play, or saying hi to your crush. Or maybe a gigantic monster is attacking your city on prom night. Whatever it is, you'll find yourself with a decision to make. Do you live life small and safe? Or do you go big?
We always loved the idea that Ruby always had what it took to be a hero, or specifically a protector. So we played around with a lot of ideas of how do we show that Ruby always had this in her. And one of the ways that we really characterized Ruby in the beginning of our process was by making her an environmental activist. And we really liked the idea that she kind of funneled her want of freedom into her activism, specifically freeing sea creatures from aquariums, restaurants, and in this scene, a fish market. Now, we cut this scene for various reasons. One, we just actually felt like Ruby kind of was already at the end of her journey if we played her like this. We wanted her to have a place to grow. We also just really wanted to get to the inciting incident. We wanted her to get in the ocean, and this was taking a little too much time. That being said, this was a really fun scene by Carrie McAllister. You get to see the friends and Ruby really bond and how they work together. And you also get to see our attempt at sea creatures talking, which in the end we didn't go with because it was a little too, it's a living for us. In the end, we went a little more grounded, but still enjoy the scene.
Ruby? Hello, Ruby? Not again. Places, everyone. It's time for Operation Crab Trap. You know what to do.
Don't eat me!
Shh. I'm not going to eat you.
Oh, wow! You have tentacles, too! Hey, take me with you! Us too!
I can lead us to Atlantis.
Please, please! Help us, please! I'm allergic to water! Us! Free!
No. Help! Take us! Oh, no, not again!
Free!
I can't save all of you!
My bag! Oh, somebody help! I've thrown out my poor old bag.
Hey, stop! Hey!
Oh, no. Be free, little guys. Stay away from traps and nets.
It was always the plan to have Chelsea trick Ruby. We felt like this was actually kind of our way of showing a siren song. Chelsea was really listening to Ruby and giving her what she wanted, a shortcut to being able to both live her life on land and live her life in the sea. Chelsea's answer to that was, of course, her attitude and her confidence. So for a long time in the movie, we had sections where Ruby was kind of mini Chelsea. Sometimes it felt a little too mean, especially the way that she acted towards her friends. But this scene was one of the more successful ones. We really liked the confidence that Ruby had, but in the end, we really just wanted to show this budding relationship in a more dynamic and active way, which led us later to creating The Well of Seas. So please enjoy these forests by Catherine DeVries, which feature some of the best knocking over a crab mascot action that you will see in any animated movie.
I got 2 hot chowders.
Oh my gosh, I waited my whole life to go to a real live real estate barbecue.
Really?
No, I have no idea what they are, but I can't wait to meet your mom so we can totally let the healing begin.
Totally. Oh my gosh, there's Connor.
Whoa, that's crazy.
What do I do?
There's only one thing to do ever. Act cool. Who's the queen?
I'm the queen.
Yes.
Ooh, the double flip McFist.
Yeah, he's been working on that for weeks.
Hey, Connor.
Hey, Rubes. There you are.
Do you want to go to the prom with me?
Whoa. Yes. Yeah. Totally. So should I pick you up, or my mom can drive? Also, do you want to get matching Cumberbatches?
Later, skater.
Oh, whoa. Yeah. Okay. Just let me know.
Wow. That's you. You're the skater.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Well?
He said yes.
Whoa. Act like you've been to this rodeo before.
Okay.
He's still watching. Hey.
Hey.
Ruby! Oh, you maniac! Where have you been? We've been texting you all day. You just disappeared.
You ghosted us, and not in the fun way.
I know. I'm sorry. I kind of ditched and hung out with Narissa all day.
Hi.
Guys, you're not gonna believe it. I just asked Connor to prom and he said yes! And I'm acting cool because he is watching. But how awesome is that?
Ruby girl, this is legendary news. Come, I've got the keys to the costume shop at school. Let's go find you a dress.
I can't. I gotta go to my mom's real estate barbecue.
Great! We'll come with you.
Here's the thing, though, real quick. That real estate barbecue, it's for serious buyers only.
Excuse me?
Yeah. Ruby and I just think it would be better if you guys, didn't go there and instead went literally any other place than there.
Ooh, cold.
Oh, what the Herald Hill is this?
I promise I'll explain everything later. It's just super important that Narissa and I one-on-one it with my mom tonight.
Which means no, you guys. You need to go away. Anywhere else but near us. Away. Bye-bye.
Are these fighting words? Am I to prepare to engage in fisticuffs?
No. Narissa just has a blunt way of saying things sometimes. She's from Sacramento. I promise I'll explain later, and everything will be great.
Huh. I see. Well, there is no later. When betrayal comes a-calling, have fun at your barbecue of deceit. I hope no one stabs you in the back of the buffet like you are doing thusly to us.
Ooh, she's a lot, isn't she? Let's start saving the world tonight.
This is worth it.
Thank you so much for watching these deleted scenes. I hope you enjoyed them as much as we enjoyed making them. I hope you have a crackin' good day.